All right, everybody. Deanna here from Sensitive Fit Club. We are about to start the Key Steps to Basic Nutrition webinar. I am joined today with Adrienne Gordon. Hey, Adrienne.
Hi.
She is our nutrition specialist, and she also created the meal plan that you all are enjoying in the March Turn Up Challenge.
Yes.
Want to introduce yourself real quick, give everybody your background and all that good stuff?
Well, good afternoon. I am Adrienne Gordon. I am a personal trainer and nutrition specialist. I have a background in counseling and in food, and I actually enjoy what I do. I've been doing this, started my journey back in 2001. And so that's when my fitness journey began. So I love helping people help themselves. I love working out, and I love a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we wanted to host this webinar for you guys because in the online forum, there are so many questions about nutrition, ways to eat, portion control. Should you try these detox shakes, detox teas, detox drinks? Should you drink 10 days of smoothies? Should you drink a bunch of ACV, apple cider vinegar? So we wanted to break things down for you so that everybody can go in informed and make the best decision for yourself along your fitness journey. Now, a few house rules. I might be looking off to the side because I have questions that I want to make sure gets answered that people ask in advance. And I'm also going to be encouraging all of you to join the webinar that are in the online fitness forum. So I have my phone here and I might be going back and forth, but make sure you are listening to what Adrienne is dropping because you don't want to miss it. These are pearls, folks. These are pearls, okay? All right. So I'm about to get started with these questions. So let's just go. We have an hour, and then we will let everybody go, and y'all can take this knowledge and put it to good use. All right. So what is considered good nutrition?
Good nutrition, Diata, is a balance of each food group. So what we're looking at is, your proteins. You have to have lean proteins, your fruits, your vegetables, and your grains. When we're talking about grains and fruits and vegetables and protein, we're not talking about fried foods. That's those are called empty calories almost. So we're talking about your lean fish. We're talking about your lean chicken, even your lean beef and some lean pork. So, and then for the vegetables, we're mostly talking about those vegetables that have antioxidants in them. They have a nutritional value. Like corn really doesn't have nutritional value. So we're talking about your green veggies, your kale, your spinach, your cabbages, your zucchinis, things of that nature. When some of them, I've been watching you guys and juicing, seeing some of your juicing. So those are the things that we're talking about. And for your grains, we're talking about, those are carbs as well, but we're talking about your non-enriched products. So we're talking about wild rice. We're talking about maybe some sweet potato. We're talking about brown rices, your quinoa or your couscous, things like that you can eat. Which are considered balanced diet. In terms of other grains, like I know some people, I see a lot of breads and things like that. I know people like their bread, but you have to be careful about that because bread does contain sugar. So when we're talking about breads, we're talking about maybe an Ezekiel bread or some type of, if you have to have it, whole wheat or rye bread.
Okay, great. So for you guys who are listening in, on the right, there's a comment box. If you have any questions or anything you'd like for Adrienne to answer, let me know. Post your question there, and I'll check it, and I'll make sure I ask it within this hour, okay? So next question, what is clean eating? We talk about it a lot, but what is it?
So clean eating looks a little bit like this, Diata. When you walk in the grocery store, right? What they have specifically in front of you when you walk in the door, they have potato chips and they have things that are on sale like drinks. But clean eating, if you navigate around the grocery stores, everything outside of those aisles. And that looks like clean eating is anything that's really not processed. So we're talking about, once again, your fruits, your vegetables. We're talking about your some dairy like your Greek yogurts. We're talking about our lean meats. We're talking about our grains. Anytime you're going down those aisles, you run the risk of finding things that have sugar outside of nuts. And when you're talking about nuts, we're talking about your raw nuts, nothing with a coating on top of it. I know a lot of people like, the sugary, salty nuts and things like that. But that, once again, is additives to your diet and added sugar in your diet. And we're not supposed to have that much sugar. That's not the type of creatures that we are. We've been conditioned to have sugar in our diet. We're talking about your grass-fed and organic fruits and vegetables and meats. So when we talk about clean eating, we're talking about those things that are non-processed, that are not enriched.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it makes sense, yeah. Because when it's enriched, they pretty much took all the nutrients out.
They took it out and they call themselves putting it back in. You have to watch things when you're talking about reduced fat or, light sugars and things like that. If you look historically, we are creatures who never really fed on a bunch of sugar. Slowly throughout the years and centuries, we integrated sugar into our diets. Holistically, we're not supposed to have processed foods. If you recall, when most of us were growing up, we didn't get to go to a McDonald's or a Burger King. Most of our meals were prepared at home. You went to the butcher, my grandmother, they used to kill the chickens. So those are the things that we're talking about. I'm from the South, so but the bottom line is that we're talking about holistic eating, and that's what clean is: holistic eating and being mindful of your consumption at all times.
Okay, that sounds good. I understand that. So the next question is, why is breakfast so important? We emphasize it a lot in the forum, and everybody has heard eat breakfast, eat breakfast. And I know some people say, I'm just not that hungry in the morning, but why is it so important?
Burn, 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 metabolism, 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 metabolism. That is one of the most important meals of the day. I know people say that, oh, I'm not a morning person, I just drink a cup of coffee. Coffee does not have any nutritional value. I mean, it tastes good. As a matter of fact, I have a cup of coffee right here. But I'm just letting you know that just drinking a cup of coffee or grabbing a bagel or something like that, that's unbalanced. Remember, when we're talking about good nutrition, we're talking about a healthy, proportionate meal every single day, every hour to an hour and a half, or 2 hours at max when we're talking about eating. So breakfast is that kickstart. It jumpstarts your metabolism. I know a lot of you ladies are talking about losing weight and things like that. Well, breakfast is one of those meals that are essential to jumpstart that metabolism going. So when we're talking about diet pills and things like that, if you jumpstart in the morning, you have more energy, you have more focus, you're able to, move better and concentrate more. So I think that, thinking about it in terms of the momentum that you gain from eating breakfast, the metabolism increase, that's what you want. If you're trying to lose weight, eat breakfast, eat a healthy portion of breakfast, meaning, you can still eat veggies for breakfast, your protein for breakfast. A lot of people are just doing that one smoothie. A smoothie is actually one of those in between snacks. Okay. Mm-hmm. Breakfast needs to be proportioned. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's very, very important, ladies, when we're talking about jump starting that metabolism early in the morning.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, some people said I have about 12 viewers on here. Some people that say they can't see it, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out some of the technical difficulties we're having. But I do see we have about 11 viewers, so I'm going to try to troubleshoot that while you are sharing this knowledge. Okay. Mm-hmm. So next question is, what is portion control and what are good portion sizes?
Okay, so when we're talking about portion control, read your labels. That's number one. Read your labels. When you're going to the grocery store and they're telling you about portion control, they're telling you that's your serving size. That's what you get. So anything outside of that serving size is in excess. So a good way to look at portion control is, number one, what are what are you trying to lose? Well, how much are you trying to lose? So we're talking about caloric intake, okay? And I know we'll get to that later on, but we're talking about caloric intake, you're working out. All those play a factor in portion control, but also when we're talking about those things, do not eat outside of the serving size. That's the recommended serving size based upon, an average 2,000 calorie diet, I think it is. So when we're talking about portion control, so when I know people can't see me, so we're talking about a handful, like a palm size of nuts. That's a portion. We don't eat the whole bag of nuts. You see what I'm saying? Even though we may want to. When we're talking about salads, your 5-finger rule. You grab the salad out and place it on the plate. When you're talking about lean meats, you're talking about half of your hand. So, and when you're talking about grains or rice, you're talking about maybe a half a cup of rice, not a whole cup or a cup and a half. And I know it may be good. You want to add that butter to it, but we got to leave that alone. Put some little seasoning salt on it. It'll be just fine.
Yeah,
So,
and discontinue adding sugar to your rice. Some of y'all are putting sugar in it.
yeah, I mean, no, 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 no. Now, some of you ladies got it going on, and I love, like, somebody made shrimp today with some nice green stuff right there.
Oh,
That was
that was
really,
beautiful,
wouldn't
right?
it look good? So I thought that was like really awesome. But then somebody also made, like, they had 3 pieces, large pieces of chicken on their plate, and I'm like, oh, that's way too much. So when we're talking about portions, if you have 3 pieces of chicken thighs on your plate, no, 1 piece of chicken on
Yeah.
your plate.
Give
Okay?
me
Because yes, that's what we're talking about. We can't have 2. I know you want to go back for it, but everything is in moderation. We're not saying just, be so strenuous that you can't enjoy your food, because I'm a advocate for enjoying food. But what we're saying to you is portion control is the most essential thing that you can do. So even if that means going get some and I'm giving strategies while we're talking about it, measuring cups or, scale to balance your meats. Then that's what you do until you get used to moving toward the things that you can do without those things. You see what I'm saying? When I first started my journey, I had a nutritionist. And so she sat with me and walked me through this process. So that's why we're here. So yes, portion control, please, please, please. Some portions look great, others are a little bit excessive. So yes, just keep those in mind. But one thing you can have in excess is water. You can have that. You can have water in excess. Eat it all. Yeah, drink it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So what you're saying now is portion sizes. You could go ham on the vegetables, go
Yep.
ham on the green stuff,
Yep.
half a palm for the
Yep.
meat, you said?
Yep.
Okay. And what about the carbs?
So once again, like I said, about a half a cup. If we're gonna do it, half a cup. That's it.
Okay.
A lot of times we're not, remember guys, we are the only country that eats in excess like that. You see what I'm saying? If you've ever gone to some type of French fancy restaurant, authentic, they do not serve an abundance of food. Our country is one of the most non-healthy countries. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, we do everything in excess. Everything is that when we go to McDonald's, we want to supersize it. So remember, portion control historically is something that we should be doing anyway. So we're historically going back to get back to basics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say this, Adrienne, that I know for me that when it came to being raised up, I was raised by a single mother. They told you eat everything on your plate,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they piled everything on your plate. My mom didn't grow up with me, and whatever they ate, they pretty much killed, and took the eggs that day and stuff like that. So you don't waste food. And I know a lot of us have been kind of brought up in that same vein. Don't waste food.
Right, right. And you don't have to. You don't
Yeah.
have to waste the food, but what you do have to do is portion it out. So before you even put the food on the plate, then you already have that portion that you're going to eat. So if your mom says eat all your food, then you could eat all your food. That's how my mother was. Like you said, we pretty much grew up the same way, but she made sure she had a vegetable, a carb, and a protein on my plate. And if I had to eat that, then I could eat it with no problem. But when you give an excess, then that's when it becomes the problem. So we just have to be careful about that.
Right, and you raise a very good point for those of us who are parents and are responsible for preparing our child's food or our children's food. That portion control starts with us. So that portion control starts with the parents, and our kids are going to pick up on what we teach them. So that's a great way as you're managing your portion sizes. Make sure you're managing your children's portion
That's
sizes.
right.
Tell them
Right.
to their food.
Right.
Good point. So we kind of touched on this next question, but if you feel that we need to dive a little deeper into it, please feel free. What is considered processed food? Because I know when I started this journey, I was like, processed food, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
get it.
yeah, we touched on it, and processed food is all those things that are enriched, packaged, that are full of sugars and excess sodium. For example, I'll give you a processed food. Roman noodles is a processed food. What do you call it? Not sloppy Joe, but hamburger helper. Yeah, hamburger helper is a processed food. All of your sugars, like your cupcakes, cookies, cakes, pies, candy, all of that is processed food. Okay, so even down to certain breads are processed. The majority of things really are in our grocery stores that are on that aisle. If you look, if you cannot read the label, if it has so many things in there that you cannot pronounce, 9 times out of 10, that's the processed food. So a rule of thumb is if you cannot read it, if it does not spell oats, honey, flaxseed, berries, if you can't understand it, 9 times out of 10, it has some additives in it. So that's why we talked about going back to clean eating. Some things we can't avoid, and we absolutely know that. I mean, there are certain things I can't avoid just by, being a shopper, a consumer, or just the day and time that we live in, and that's fine. But being more conscious and aware of what you're consuming is the biggest education part that we're trying to speak about today. So just bear in mind about those processed things that you cannot read or you do not understand, and they are not providing a dictionary for you to understand it.
Absolutely. Okay. I got that. All right. So how many times a day should one eat daily?
Okay, so I've seen, like, bear in mind, so when I'm on the group site, I see a lot of people eating once a day. I see them, kind of snacking here, and once again, I'm gonna go back to portion control. So you need at least 6 good meals. Okay, what that looks like is your morning meal. Okay, remember we talked about we got a jump start. So when we jump start, that means continuing and thinking about a car. Think about your car. That's your body. If you don't take care of your body, if you don't put gas in your tank, then you are stranded on the side of the road, or you may need repair. So we're talking about breakfast. We're talking about maybe a mid-morning snack. We're talking about lunch. We're talking about another snack. We're talking about dinner, and then maybe a light snack after that. But we usually tell people do not eat after 7:30 or 8 o'clock, simply because that's when your body, instinctively begins to wind itself down. Even though some people may have different jobs and things like that, it doesn't take away from the fact that your body is innately settling itself down, during the nighttime, preparing itself to sleep. So your body is an amazing, amazing tool. So keeping those things in mind are very important. So 6 good meals, nice snacks in between, keeps your body fueled. Once again, water. I've seen some of the infused water. Deanna, has her funky fresh infused water bottles that you guys can get if you just can't stand water. But just learn to love it, because water is natural. That's your body. Your body is made up the majority of water. So that's how it cleans itself, purifies, detoxes. So, and I'm just going to say this, I don't do infused water because I feel like I'm adding something to something that's natural, but I'm not taking away from it. And the best thing you can do, for your body is to, really cleanse it with water, and not, additives in the water, not Crystal Light. And, I know, well, I just don't like water. I just want sodas. I know it's okay, but remember, sugar, 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 sugar. We got to get away from that. Our society is prone to cancers and, heart disease and, liver disease and, all sorts of things. And we have to be more conscious of our diet, to alleviate some of that or minimize those things. Childhood obesity in the United States is extremely prevalent. So that's why we're saying what we're saying. So those meals are very, very important. So just keep that in mind. I'm done.
Great. Okay. So this is the next question that I get and I hear often, and I even had this question again at the beginning of my journey. If you eat several times a day, won't that inhibit weight loss?
No, it really won't. So what people don't seem to understand is that you don't want when you don't eat, your body says no one's eating, so it attacks you. So if I'm attacking back, then I'm not doing anything, good for myself. So eating, once again, think about your car. If you don't give your car fuel, will it go? So eventually the car works against you, right? So that means it begins to break down. Your transmission starts to go bad. Your engine starts to, you forget to get the oil change. The same way you thinking about your vehicle and to make it go is the same analogy I want you to use for your body. If I don't take care of my car, then my car will not run, my car will break down, and I cannot get to work and make my monties. So you have to do that the same way. So just remember now, the average caloric intake is around 2,000 calories, right? So you have to think the way that works is if you're very active, then that's going to be a different bracket of calories because, of course, you have to fuel more because you're burning more. But if you're sitting and you're not burning as much, then no, you don't have to consume as much. So I encourage you guys to, I don't have it with me, so Google the caloric intake, balanced caloric intake for women, and it will break down, like if you're, sitting still or you have a job where you can't really move around. So it just gives you the breakdown for that and active women as well. And it will break down your age bracket as well. I can forward that site to you as well so they can see that. But basically, that just gives you something to keep in mind. And another good tool to use for caloric intake, and I know Deanna has said it before, is Fitness Pal. Because when you're first starting it, it asks you, how do you want to lose weight? What's your age? How much do you weigh now? And it will calculate all of that. You have so many apps that will calculate those things for you. And I think part of the challenge was to actually use the Fitness Pal and document, your food, so you can then see, are you making that progress? So, the Others has provided a lot of tools for that as well. So yeah, calories are important, but it's based upon what you do.
Right. Absolutely. And I love my Fitness Pal. There's a free version. It's powerful, I think, especially if you're not quite sure how much you're eating and or your portion sizes. Now, what's very important, and I know some people have made this mistake because some of you have shared your MyFitnessPal meal documentation or diary for the day. Understanding what your portion sizes are. So I've had people send me stuff saying, "Oh, I ate 1 ounce." No, you didn't. I know you didn't.
You didn't do that.
I know you didn't. Because an ounce is nothing. I know you didn't. But it's just a matter of everyone getting educated on portion sizes so you can control it so that you're not, like you said earlier, Adrian, putting so many calories in your body that you're consuming more than what you're expending and then sitting here figuring out, well, I'm eating healthy. Why am I not losing weight? Or I thought I was eating healthy. So, the manufacturers, and I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist because that's not me, but the more I read and educate myself, these manufacturers are tricky, okay? They have shareholders to pay. They have dividends to pay out and stocks to pay. And so they will do whatever to make sure that their product is sold, and they will sell to children, old people, everyone in between, regardless. I mean, I remember back in the day, they had a commercial that Coca-Cola was good for breakfast. I remember it. Because I was a Coke thing. Like, that's what I woke up with, and I drank it every single day. Every single day, 12-ounce Coke. Anyone who knows me knows that. And I've made a big 360 change from that because of the effect of Coke on your body. You know, once in a while, if you want to have one once a month or whatever, you know, but at least you know when you drink it what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that's what is important, because these manufacturers aren't telling you all the real deal.
Right.
Their product is doing to your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we are with that. So next question. If you eat several, oh no, I said that. Should one count calories in meals? Why or why not?
Well, I will tell you, when you first begin, like we were just talking about the Fitness Pal, and you count the caloric intake and you include your workout, you should count the calories, because if you're just beginning, you kind of want to get familiar with your body and how it works, how it metabolizes, and you know, you want to gauge how, you know, the food is affecting, you know, you overall, meaning how it affects your workout, how it affects, you know, you're doing a day. So yes, definitely counting calories in the beginning when you first start in this process. Yes. Now, once you begin to get familiar with your body, understanding how it works and things like that, then, and you're in a more healthy lifestyle. Remember, Deotta and I have been doing this for a long time. So we pretty much know what works and what doesn't. So now I don't necessarily count calories. I can tell by, you know, knowing my portion control. I eat very a small plate of food, drink plenty of water, plan and prepare my meals every single day. So I don't necessarily have to count calories. I know when I'm out of bounds, and my clothes tell me when I'm out of bounds. So I know that if I've eaten a little bit too much, been on vacation, acting like I don't have good sense, then my pants will tell me, it's time for you to go back to work out, right? So, like I said, yes, it is important, but only after you have gotten to a place where you understand your body, you understand how you lose weight, you have actually lost the weight, and you are knowledgeable enough to, you know, then decrease that and move on without it.
Okay, absolutely. Great. Thank you. Because I don't like counting calories. I don't do it.
Okay.
To your point, I know my body, and I'm familiar enough with food, and how I prepare food, or how food is prepared at restaurants, to know.
Right.
I know.
Right. So, now, I will say what you do want to watch is calories burn. So when you working out, you want to see the calories burned. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're thinking about, you know, the workout preparation. I've seen a lot of ladies posting, you know, how many calories they burn on elliptical and things like that, you know, but just remember about, you know, you have to burn, I think, at least 500 calories to 1 pound. So if you haven't amped up your workout with this food, then you're going to have to amp up the workout. Deotta will tell you, she and I work out together, and it is gruesome sometimes. So it's very gruesome. So when you're talking about calories burn, you have to burn those calories even though you're eating. If you don't burn enough, I think that's where a lot of the women are having problems, Deotta. You know, they're trying to eat right, but you're not burning enough calories, and so you're not seeing those results. So you might want to amp up your workouts. You know, step that up, and once again, increase your water intake. Watch, I know you posted the other day about getting rest. If you're not getting rest, you need to get rest. If you're stressed, then, you know, you have to take care of yourself. So all of those things play a factor in your weight loss. So amp up your workouts, remember your portion control, get your rest, drink plenty of water.
Yeah, so some of you do text me when you work out, or, you know, give questions. And when we say amp up your workout, What we mean is if you are walking on the treadmill, increase that incline. Take it from 0 to 5. Take it from 5
Ooh,
to 10.
favorite is 5. Yes.
And what we're trying to do is get your heart rate up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But make sure you hold on. Make sure you can handle it. I'm not saying take it up to your incline to 5 and your speed up to 6 miles per hour. If you're doing a walk at 3 miles per hour or what have you, increase that incline because that is the only way you're going to get that heart rate up. And you'll work your glutes and your thighs and your, and all that good stuff. So you'll get results. But you want to increase that heart rate. If you are running, you might want to do some sprint drills, okay? Because that's going to get your heart rate up and have you burning those extra calories. And to Adrian's point, 3,500 calories to a pound. That means if you have a 500 calorie deficit a day for a week, you should at least lose 1 pound. A deficit meaning based on what you're eating and how many calories you're burning, there should be a 500 calorie deficit to lose at least 1 pound a week minimum. Okay. So that's important. So so intensity, okay? Adrian and I do work out together, and our coach is intense.
To say the least. I think we did 200 squats the other day, Deanna, and my legs are still sore.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just now recovering from my DOMs. So intensity, that's what's going to do it. Your food, your nutrition, number one, but also when you hit that gym, it's your time. Go in, okay? Go in. So I'm going to take some questions from people that have posted questions, and I'm also going to check the forum and see if anybody's asking any additional questions. So this question is from Cassandra. What are some tips for pre and post-workout nutrition? Does it depend on if you are working on cardio versus strength? And how do you determine the appropriate amount of calories and macros for weight loss and maintenance?
Okay, so I think we kind of covered that, but I'll go back into it again. When you're talking about pre-workouts, you need to eat at least 30 minutes to 1 hour before a workout. Primarily, you're looking at, remember when we talked about one of those like protein shakes or something like that before the workout, because you don't want a heavy meal, you want something light. So even if you're doing a protein shake, you may want to do some sauteed veggies or something like that before a workout. You can definitely do that. You can combine maybe some nuts and like a half an apple before you work out, because once again, you don't want to cramp up when you're working out. You want to still maintain, your energy level, but not be so heavy that you can't perform. The other thing is, I think that she mentioned about, okay, what was the other thing? I have to make sure I get everything.
Pre and post workout.
Okay, let me go post. Post is the same thing. So if you post workout, usually like after a workout, I may keep a protein shake or I've juiced something, juice some veggies. So I may keep that in the car for a post workout. And remember, depending on when you work out, if you work out in the morning like we do, so then you can automatically go for breakfast, because then by that time you'll be ready for breakfast. If you're midday, then you may want to make sure that you clear your breakfast first, but still you can go into a lunch. So it's just depending on the time of day that you're working out, that it goes for the pre and post. You have to be mindful of where you are. If you've planned your meals out anyway, regardless of when you start the workout, just think about before you work out, and then afterwards you have a meal right there, meaning if it's a protein shake or some nuts or something, or apple, some veggies. Raw veggies are always good as a post workout. Remember, you want to fuel the body back up, so you can look at things like that. What is the other one that she mentioned?
It was does it depend on whether you're doing cardio or strength training?
Okay, so cardio and strength. So cardio and strength are a little bit different. However, they still are in sync, because basically if you're working out, I usually do a combination of cardio first and then go into strength training. So I usually do an interval training. So when you're thinking about that, it's the same concept. Except with strength training, of course, you'll probably need more protein and more veggies. When you're doing strength training, you really need to stay away from really fruit. Because you're trying to really define your body. You're trying to lean it out as much as possible. So when you think about strength training, when I was doing strength training, I couldn't, my coach, my trainer did not allow me to eat any type of fruit, any type of enriched products, none of that. So I had to really, you're talking about really leaning out. That's kind of where I had to put it at grains, whole grains, protein, and vegetables and water. That was it. That's all I got. But when you're talking about, cardio, of course, you're going to burn more there. So you still want to eat the same balance, except you can still have the fruit with it, but at a minimum. So
Okay.
it's just depending on what your fitness goals are.
Okay. We have a lot of questions in the forum. Wow.
Woo!
That's funny. That's not tea. So I'm about to get through this. Okay.
Okay, go.
Huh?
I
Let's
say
go.
go.
All right.
Ready.
From Anita, when cooking, you're cooking the proteins such as chicken and fish. Is it best to bake? If so, what oil should you use?
So it is always best to bake or grill something. Unless you have unless you have maintained, and I'm still saying this, unless you have accomplished your fitness goals, then please don't fry anything. Okay, wait till you get to where you need to be, then fry your chicken wings. But what I'm saying is, bake or grill, yes. I will usually, for my chicken, I usually will season it, not with a lot of salt, but just other seasoning, like garlic powders, paprika, coriander, things like that are almost natural. Like I said, we got to watch everything. And then I add a little bit of olive oil in my bowl, and I shake it up. So that means that I don't have to use as much, maybe a tablespoon, and I shake it all up to kind of get it on the chicken, and then I put it on the pan and cook it. So yes, olive oil, you can grapeseed oil, things like that, but just stay away from, those vegetable oils. You don't really have to do a lot of that. Marinate as much as natural as you possibly can. Come up with, ideas that you think of that you like. If you like parsley and basil and, a little salt and pepper, play around with your spices and get the flavor that you're looking for, and then add that as a base for your seasoning, how you season your meats.
That sounds good. Sounds awesome. All right. So we have a question from Gwen. What are simple things that you can cook for a low carb, low fat meal? Tasty diabetic meals.
Oh, great. So if you like shrimp, I'm a firm advocate for shrimp, and like veggies on the side. I usually will saute some shrimp with spinach
Mm-hmm.
and cabbage and mushrooms and things like that, with a little bit of seasoning. So that's something that's very, very easy to do. It only takes about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're going to do some chicken, you can do the chicken strips, and you can cook those very easily, like a stir fry with brown rice. You can make we make oh my God, some muffins. You can make muffins out of dates and walnuts with honey, and not necessarily the sugar. So there are a bunch of things that you can do. There are a bunch of things that you can do to have a simple diet. Most of them are really, most of my meals, the oughta only range maybe 10, 15 minutes, because I have two kids and I gotta go. So when you talk about even fish, season the fish really good, and you can put that on a bed of mixed vegetables. I mean, on a bed of salad, and turn it into a fish salad. You have to kind of be creative. If you want a cheat day, I usually like to do a handful of tortillas and black beans, lettuce, or I cut up spinach. Uh, you can season some tofu, like with taco seasoning, or season some type of meat, and then throw that on there and make a simple taco salad with some salsa. And that only takes maybe 10 minutes. So if you guys like, and Deotta tells me, I can post some more recipes for you guys to, quick, easy meals that we can use, that are healthy and easy to do.
Yep. Sounds good. So, which is healthier, turkey bacon or good quality pork bacon? I'm getting mixed information. This is from Natalie.
Well, Natalie, I'm just gonna be real. I'm from the South, so I love some good bacon every now and again. However, it's best to do lean meats. Pork bacon is empty fat, so it can't do anything for you. So you can, if you want to do something lean, I would encourage you to do lean turkey bacon. They have different kinds. I like the Applegate that you can get at a Whole Foods or even your local supermarket. It's uncured. It's very, very good. Or I know that Diata posted, uh, what is that, Brian? Oscar Mayer. You posted it the
Oh,
other
yes,
day.
yes, yes. There's this delicious bacon I had. It was so good. I have to look it up, but yeah,
Right.
it's
So they
cured.
Right. So they have different type of turkey sausage. I did the links, the same product with the links. They're very good. So just try to stay away from the bacon. Once again, if you want a cheat day, once you get to where you need to be, yes, but bacon has, just empty fat. And if we're trying to get away from the fat, I know you ladies were talking about burning belly fat. Well, if you keep eating bacon, then you're gonna have some serious belly fat. So stay away from the bacon.
Yes, no bacon. All right.
No
So
bacon.
yeah, from Tina, what are some tips that assist in maintaining your healthy lifestyle once you have lost the required weight for a healthier you?
Yay! So that's if you tuned in earlier, we were talking about that maintenance, and what that looks like is you still stay on the same regimen that you are on, and what that looks like is preparation and planning. I never get away from preparing or thinking about what I'm going to eat, from the beginning of the week to the end. I write a grocery list for myself. I section it out into the departments that we talked about, dairy, fruits, vegetables, meats, snacks or carbs. I portion that out. I look at that. And then I go to the grocery store intentional about what I'm going to do. I used to make a menu for my house, but then it got a little bit out that left the window. But um, the bottom line is still being intentional about what you're going to prepare. And I still plan what I'm going to eat for the week. So when Diata sees me posting my lunch box, that means I've already planned that. I already know what I'm going to eat. And so that's how you maintain a healthy lifestyle. That you don't leave that. It's not what we have to realize, ladies, is this is a lifestyle change. It's not like once you lose the weight, you go back ham. Once you lose the weight and you know that you're healthy, then you continue what works. And that's the best thing that, I can say about it. We just continue to do what works.
Absolutely. And I can vouch that with Adrian's meal plans, our coach even said to me, I see a difference, Ms. Harris. I can see a difference in your performance because I told him, oh, coach, I'm cleaning up my diet and I'm following, some of Adrian's meal plan ideas, and I feel stronger. So what you put in your body does
Woo!
matter. Yes,
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
does matter. So we have some more questions on here. So we have another question from Tina. I see a lot of drinking calories versus eating them. I prefer eating mine because eating is more realistic. What is your perspective on eating versus drinking calories?
So once again, when we're beginning this journey, uh, people get caught up with if I drink this detox tea or if I, drink this smoothie. That is society's way to trick you into what you're supposed to be drinking versus eating. And that is not the way that our bodies are made up of. Now, once again, if you want to replace a meal with a smoothie because you're on the go, I get that part. But your major meals need to be consumed. You need to take time, sit down, and chew your food, eat, enjoy your meals. Again, we are a society that's on the run continuously, and we're looking for an easy fix. Prepare your meals, be intentional about that. And then if you want one of those snacks to be something that you drink, then that's fine, as long as it's packed with nutrients and it's going to benefit you later. Do not go without food. I'm going to say it again. Do not go without food. Eat your meals. Change your lifestyle. Okay, slow down. It's okay to slow down. Slow down. I know we all are, running, but slow down and eat your food.
Okay. So we have a question from Misha. Ways to eat clean when going to an outing.
Okay, I remember this question. So you still have the authority, you still have control, girlfriend. So you can still eat, clean, but you have to be, once again, intentional about it. So if I go out, uh, case in point, I went out to Outback. So I asked them, okay, I'm going to get a grilled salmon, right? I'm not going to get, the bang bang chicken wings or something like that. I'm going to get grilled salmon. What kind of what kind of steamed vegetables did you have? They are good, right? Let's just be real. That's on a cheat day. Just understand that. But we're going to ask what type of vegetables are they having? Are they steamed? Are they cooked in oil? You can ask the waiter those questions, and they'll be more than happy to. If they don't know, they'll be more than happy to find out for you. But clean eating, once again, is still no processed foods, no fried foods, being intentional about what's on the menu. And a lot of menus now have a nutritional section where you can choose from meals that are lower in caloric intake, and they will tell you what is in there. So you just still have to be intentional about that, and you can pretty much be successful. If you go to Red Lobster, you can't eat those biscuits. That's a good. You can't eat the biscuits.
Now they sell them in the stores.
I know they sell them at the store. Don't tell nobody. It's crack in a box.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's see. Okay, from Gwen. What are free foods, things you can eat to kill the hunger pains when you eat small portions?
Say that again for me.
What are free foods, things you can eat to kill the hunger pains when you eat these small portions?
Okay, so when you're talking about free food, you can eat raw veggies. You can eat raw veggies. So if you cut up, the different color, red, yellow, green peppers, you can add raw broccoli, zucchini, squash, celery. You can even cut up tomatoes, cucumbers if you want to. I know a young lady posted that she had some type of seasoning that she added to the cucumbers. Well, where I'm from, we add a little salt and pepper and some vinegar, and cucumbers are great. So think in terms of those vegetables. Those are your free foods that won't impact you. I wouldn't recommend a lot of fruit because, once again, natural fruit still has sugar in there. So if you're talking about, hey, I need pack a bag of vegetables, and you can even have a tablespoon of hummus because hummus is protein. So you can have a little bit of that. So there are many ways to fight that hunger pain.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Do I have any other questions? Okay. Another question from Gwen. I eat a lot of mandarin oranges as a between meal snack. Is that okay?
I think we just talked about that, Gwen. Once again, I would divide that up. For every mandarin orange, you need some green vegetables, raw vegetables to cut that because, once again, although oranges aren't bad, they're packed with vitamin C, but they also have sugar in it. And when you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose that belly fat, you're trying to really, lean out, you have to cut some of that sugar out. So if we're talking about really leaning out, you got to stay away from those sugars, even some type of fruit.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let me refresh the screen to see if I see any other questions.
Okay.
Really quick. Okay. All right. I think that might be it. Let me just check the place because there's a lot of ways people can ask us questions on here. All right. I think I got them all.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just refresh one more page. All right. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh, do you have any final tips before we sign off?
So I see, once again, I see a lot of young ladies. I don't know if everybody's been posting in the back to basics. Post your questions and back to basics, because that's the way that I can see questions and Deanna can see the questions to really hone in. Because when we're on the bigger forum, I mean, there's so much going on that you really can't see, and I want to make sure that we are able to help you as best we can. But once again, my tip to you is portion control. Think about holistic eating. Don't think about this as a fast way to do things. If you want something great, you got to work for it. You got to work hard. You have to be determined that this is what you're going to do. You have to be intentional about it. When you wake up in the morning, you have to be intentional about your health, because you only get one body. So I encourage you, my tip is encouraging you to think of this as a lifestyle change and not something that you want to happen overnight just to fit in a dress. You know, when you know better, you do better. Drink your water, get your rest, take care of you, mind, body, and spirit, and do your best. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. Well, Adrian, thank you so much. This has been so informative and educational for me as well. I hope for everyone that was able to finally log in and see the video, I hope you enjoyed this. This will be broadcast on YouTube, so you can replay it again at your own convenience. If for whatever reason you weren't able to, join us and watch today, thank you again, Adrian. We are about to sign off. Like Adrian said, if you have any additional questions, in the forum, online forum at facebook.com/groups/Femme Fatale. In the event piece, there's the key steps to basic nutrition. Ask any other questions you have there, because Adrian will be able to see those questions there versus the main forum, because like as she said, there's so much activity, stuff kind of moves kind of quick. So everyone, have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful week. This is week 2 of the March Turn Up Challenge. Make sure
Turn up.
Right, we're turning it up. So make sure you are prepared. Make sure you prep your meal. Make sure you are getting and doing the workouts. We have 3-parters: a 10-minute yoga stretch, 10-minute treadmill warm up, and then the main workout by my boy Sean from Hard Body Outdoor Fitness. So make sure you're doing that, because at the end of this program, you will see results if you stick to the plan, okay? So absolutely. So until next time, when you get this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, love you. Bye. We're out. Peace.